Hello, my name is Hazar Al Sabek. Today I'm going to talk about portals for competitive strategy. As we know, a successful firm should have a strategy for its direction. Business strategy helps a firm to improve its competitive position of its products or services. This could be achieved either by following competitive strategy or cooperative business strategy. In competitive business strategy, a firm competes alone against its competitors to gain advantage. While in cooperative business strategy, a firm can work with other firms to gain advantage against competitors. The most important thing is to find the most effective, successful strategy and to work on it. According to Michael Porter, there are three generic competitive strategies that a firm can follow. One of them to outperform other corporations: the cost leadership, the differentiation, and the focus strategy. The cost leadership is when a company is able to design, produce, and distribute, and even to market comparable products or services more efficiently than other competitors. In this case, the company will have the advantages of low cost and will get a profit from this strategy. In differentiation, it's when the company is able to produce unique and superior value for the customer. This in many cases, such as high quality products, such as special features, such as services, providing services after sale. All this can add value to the customer, so it can get a profit from this adding value. In focus strategy, when a company is able to produce unique and superior value to a specific group of buyers, to a certain segment of certain part of a segment in the market, or to a geographic market. In this case, we call this company is follow a focus strategy. Michael Porter also proposed that the competitive advantage of a firm is determined by the breadth of its target market. Is it competing a broad target, or it has a narrow target? Is it aimed at the middle of the mass market, or is it aimed at a niche market? Now, combining the two competitive markets with the two competitive advantages, we can define the variation of the generic strategies. When we have a broad market scope and the competitive advantages is low cost, we define the cost leadership strategy. Also, in the broad market scope, when we have differentiation competitive advantages, we define the differentiation strategy. Now, in the narrow market scope, if we have competitive advantages of low cost, the cost-focused strategy will be defined. And in the narrow market scope, for the narrow market scope, if the competitive advantages is differentiation, the generic strategy will be differentiation focus strategy. Therefore, we have 4 generic strategies. In the broad markets, we have cost leadership and differentiation, and in the narrow market scope, we have cost focus and differentiation focus. Now, let's consider an example from an industry where there are firms in all 4 strategies. Actually, most industries have firms in the 4 different strategies. For example, clothes industry, watches industry, shoes industry, and handbag industry all have the 4 different strategies. Firms operate in the 4 different strategies. For example, let's have a look on the handbag industry. In the handbag industry, we can find the 4 strategies: cost leadership, differentiation, cost focus, and differentiation focus. The cost leader could be a firm that achieve economic of scale by sourcing mass-produced identified bags in the Far East, for example. This then could be moved to Europe, for example, in containers to be sold in the discount stores without adding any services, with the minimum cost so efficient logistic system for and transportation to move these products. In this example, the cost, and always in the cost leadership, the cost should be kept down as possible, because to keep the price down and to compete on the low price with other competitors. Again, from this example, as we can see that the cost leadership strategy, in this strategy, the production on large scale enables the business to exploit economic of scale, and the low cost of products or services enables the company to offer low prices and compete effectively against competitors. Also, these low prices low cost enable the company to gain the highest profit since the prices is low. So low cost enable to maximize the profit that it can get from the business. Another advantages for this strategy is that these low prices serve as a defense against competitors and a barrier for them to entry. Also, functioning on this large scale of the market help give the company bargaining power relative to the suppliers. All these are advantages for this strategy, and there are many example of successful company work on these strategies such as Walmart, Tesco, and IKEA. Now again to our example for the handbag industry. For the differentiation strategy, here might be branded bags such as Gucci, Guess, etc. These branded bags there are customers are willing to pay for high price for these bags. We are not talking about the standard bags that we have seen in the leadership strategy. Here there are added features and value for these products, and there are customers who are willing to pay for these features. Here about the differentiation in our example for the branded bag company. The company is targeting a broad mass market, and the company is able to provide unique value to its customers. This is such as product, the quality of the bag, the design of the bag, the features of the bag. Also services, after sale services, and recently many branded bag companies began to offer these services. These features lower the price sensitivity the customer have, and the buyer loyalty for this brand creates entry barriers against competitors. Now let's move to the third type of firms that work in handbag industry and use the cost focus strategy. An example of these firms could be a firm that produce handbags to other firms, for example, and put the other firms' logos on the bags. These bags could be used for targeting for marketing issues. And many companies such as perfume companies, cosmetic companies, and pharmaceutical companies use these bags for their marketing. It's a small part of the handbag market, and here we find the manufacturer should keep the prices low, otherwise the customer will find another manufacturer for his request. So in the cost focus strategy, this strategy exploits that there are differences in the cost behavior in some segregated segments, and it focuses on particular buyer on a narrow target, particular buyers group or geographic market, and develop a strategy to serve this group and exclude the other. The low-cost competitive strategy, it's a low-cost competitive strategy, but in a niche market, and the producer is very cost sensitive, and the producer should keep the costs down as much as possible, and there is no extra cost, so no advertising, no promotion, no expenses. The expenses should be limited. Now let's see the fourth type of the firms in the handbag industry, and they use the differentiation focus strategy. This could be an example of this, an exclusive baby care bag with exclusive brand such as Massimo Dutti. In this example, the manufacturer focus on particular segment of the subsegment baby care bag, and the customer who like Massimo Dutti brand are willing to pay additional price for this product. This product could be have additional features such as the quality, the image, etc. As we mentioned before, for the differentiation forecast, this strategy focus on particular buyer group or geographic markets. It focus on narrow targets, and this strategy serve better the special need of this narrow target, and such segments are poorly served by broadly targeting competitors. So the customers here are willing to pay more for these benefits. After going through the 4 generic strategy, it should be mentioned that some companies do not have a clear generic strategy. They engage in each generic strategy but fail to achieve any of them. They stuck in the middle, and so for this reason they possess no competitive advantages. As we have seen, having a clear strategy gave the firm a clear position in the market in relation to its competitors. Now, after we have discussed Porter's 4 generic strategies model, it could be said that it is a very successful strategy, a very successful model, and it helps firms to find their successful competitive strategy in an industry. Although it's a successful model, but it has been criticized for many reasons. One of these reasons is that it's difficult to define an industry. The boundaries of an industry are almost moving, and it's difficult to define an industry. Another reason is that Porter's model defines that an industry should have one generic strategy, and if it's stuck in the middle, it will fail. But some recent research found that some combination between two competitive strategies may be successful. Finally, the model gives no recommendation about which is the best generic strategy that a firm should follow as a better choice. Thank you for listening, and if there is any question, please contact me on the email below.